Welcome viewers, Dr. JWA, theologist since 1994. Muhammad, so near the revelation, so far from the Saviour. Episode 41. When the movement started consuming the individual. The room no longer feels populated by separate men now. It increasingly feels consumed by a single atmosphere moving through all of them at once. And that is what begins quietly terrifying the ordinary followers still capable of remembering themselves before the proclamation consumed every part of life surrounding them. A younger Muslim sits quietly while several respected voices discuss loyalty, sacrifice, and collective destiny beneath exhausted silence. Nobody speaks about personal conscience anymore. Personal conscience increasingly sounds dangerous beside the emotional certainty dominating the gatherings. One Muslim speaker warns that individual weakness threatens the movement more severely than external enemies ever could. And several listeners nod immediately, others nod because hesitation itself now feels visible. And that transformation matters enormously, viewers, because ideological systems accelerating toward absolutism eventually stop merely shaping people. They begin absorbing them. And the degeneration deepens there, not through sudden madness initially, through gradual erasure, through emotional exhaustion, through ordinary men slowly surrendering private thought, moral instinct, and personal identity simply to survive the atmosphere surrounding the Islamic movement itself. One follower quietly notices he no longer knows whether his convictions remain genuine or merely necessary for social survival. Another forces visible enthusiasm during gatherings while privately feeling emotionally hollow, spiritually fatigued, and increasingly frightened by the escalation unfolding around him. Yet neither man believes resistance remains psychologically survivable, or physically survivable for that matter, anymore. Viewers, the structure is changing existentially now. The movement no longer merely regulates belief, identity, obedience, sacrifice, and fear. It increasingly regulates personhood itself. A quieter man notices how quickly emotionally intense personalities now speak as though the movement carries greater moral importance than the ordinary human beings consumed by it. Another suppresses grief entirely after watching a long-time acquaintance publicly celebrated for disappearing completely into sacrifice and sacrificial devotion surrounding the Islamic proclamation of Muhammad. Yet nobody openly says your individual self no longer matters. Nobody needs to. The atmosphere already teaches it. And the pressure grows heavier there, viewers, because once collective righteousness becomes morally supreme, ordinary humanity slowly begins dissolving beneath sacred purpose itself. Several Muslim men now applaud declarations of total surrender publicly while privately terrified by how impossibly ordinary emotional honesty has become inside the tightening atmosphere surrounding the movement. One speaker warns that attachment to personal identity weakens devotion by preserving selfishness, hesitation, and fear capable of contaminating collective purity itself. The room absorbs the warning immediately, quietly, heavily, reflexively. One follower now experiences guilt merely for longing privately for ordinary peace, family stability, and emotional safety outside the movement. Another increasingly suspects the proclamation is consuming human beings faster than it is healing them, yet no longer believes he possesses the strength to escape psychological or spiritual or physically intact. The degeneration is accelerating at a catastrophic rate now. Emotionally, psychologically, physically, spiritually. And perhaps this becomes one of the defining transitions in the trajectory ahead. Ordinary men increasingly stop asking whether the movement serves humanity and begin believing humanity itself exists only to serve the movement. And the atmosphere no longer merely demands sacrifice, it increasingly demands disappearance of the self entirely. And viewers, once individuality becomes psychologically, spiritually, and physically fused with weakness, total ideological absorption itself can rapidly begin appearing spiritually beautiful, while ordinary humanity quietly suffocates beneath collective ideological righteousness. Yet, beneath the consuming certainty surrounding Islam, a quieter longing still remains unresolved, not merely for obedience, or sacrifice, or survival, but for reconciliation with the Father beyond condemnation itself, through the Messiah. I'm Dr. J.W. Ayub, theologist since 1994. Like, subscribe, comment to educate me, and share the video to help somebody else. I'll see you in the next episode, when condemnation started feeling inescapable.